Well, thank you, Monty. I hope the next speaker will have all the answers to Monty's question. You know, the Population Reference Group has been co-hosting this lecture. So last year we did it together, this year again. So Wendy is the president and the CEO of the Population Reference Bureau. She just joined about 2 weeks ago. She was the vice president and director of the Population Council's Poverty, Gender, and Youth Program. So prior to joining the Population Council, she was executive vice president for research at the University of Kentucky. So Wendy has served on the boards of directors and advisory boards of a number of organizations, including the National Academy of Sciences, National Science Foundation, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, WHO, and the USA. Wendy, please.
Thank you so much. I'm very pleased to be here for the second Malthus lecture and in representing the Population Reference Bureau, the co-host. Now, you know, our two organizations share a commitment to the health and well-being of populations, but we share something else that I just want to reflect on, and that is our commitment to making data available in ways that are useful to the policymakers, that are useful to broad communities. There's a tremendous need for clear, accurate, transparent, unbiased, valuable, and current, timely data in all of the fields that we work in. And these are commitments that I believe are shared across our organizations and are extremely important as we look at the intersections of population and food supply. Data helps us focus resources, identify hotspots. It helps us provide baselines so we can tell if interventions have been successful or not. And it helps us hold governments accountable. It helps the whole population hold governments accountable. And a lack of data is really the first sign that that chain of accountability is frayed. PRB really welcomes the opportunity to be a co-host on this, such an important topic and such an important merger of issues here today. And Dr. Fan has already pointed out this is being webcast. And if you go to the PRB website, you can now see the video and the paper from last year's Malthus lecture. So I think this is a sign that the access to data has to be broad and it has to be inclusive in ways of getting information and this exposure to these discussions out to the broadest possible audience. We recently saw World Population Day, but in October we're going to see the day of 7 billion, and that's going to be another important sort of milestone as we think about population. I would just encourage you that toward the end of this month, as PRB issues its World Data Sheet for 2011, we'll also join in this use of new technology and have this available through a webinar and interactive maps. And again, I just cannot overstate the importance of that access to data broadly shared, especially if we're going to address as compelling and important questions as we have before us today. So thank you, and it's such a pleasure to be on any program that Monty Udelman has had any, influence in establishing. Thank you, and thank you.